Hello, everybody. Welcome to the K2 podcast. This is episode number 11. And if you could go ahead and smash that like button, you can smash it right now. Don't even got to take it to dinner first. You can just I thought that was pretty good. But anyway, I'm gonna start today's show off with a quick little snippet here from our old friend Tone Loke from Funky Cole Medina. So this, Jay, you know this one?
Yeah, who doesn't know this
It's
song?
a classic song, right? So he goes, I went up to this girl. She said, hi, my name is Sheena. That's how he said it.
First
Hi,
of all,
my name is Sheena.
her name is Sheena.
That's what he said, Sheena.
Yeah, that's already red flag number one.
All right, well, let me get through it. Everybody knows the ending. And I think everybody knows how this goes. It goes, I went up to this girl. She said, hi, my name is Sheena. I thought she'd be good to go with a little funky Cole Medina. She said, I'd like a drink. I said, okay, I'll go get it. Then a couple of sips, she cold licked her lips, and I knew that she was with it. So I took her to my crib, and everything went well as planned. But when she got undressed, it was a big old mess, and Sheena was a man. So I threw him out. I don't fool around with no Oscar Mayer wiener. You must be sure that the girl is pure for that funky Cole Medina. Let's get into today's show. All right, so had to get us pumped up there with a little funky Cole Medina. Did it pump you up?
I mean, yeah. That's Funky Cole Medina.
It didn't pump him up. He ain't pumped. Anyway, so
It's the rhythm section.
The rhythm section. All right. Well, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely appreciate that. But right off the bat, I wanted to kick it off with something. So, we're in year 2021, right?
What do you mean we're near? We're in it.
That's what I said.
No, you said we're near it.
Okay, well, we're in 2021.
Yes.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the TV show, what is it, The Jetsons? I
Yeah.
think that was in, like, year 2000, maybe? What was
It
the
might have been
setting?
the year 2000. I don't know. I haven't seen the Jetsons
I'm not sure, but
probably since the year 2000.
I don't even know if I've seen it then. It's been a long time. It used to be one of my favorite shows, though. I used
Yeah,
to
it was
like
pretty
it.
good.
But anyway, the reason why I brought it up is because when you look at a lot of the TV shows about what the future would be like,
Yeah.
you don't see any of the stuff have come true, so to speak. It seems like we're so far behind where I think we should be. Like flying cars, I know it's kind of wild, but I feel like that's something that we would have already done by now.
I mean, theoretically, it's doable.
I'm
It's
just
just
saying-
how can you manage flying cars?
Yeah, that's true. I
You
mean,
can't really expect people to attain the airspace laws. I mean, you got no fly zones.
Well, I think we're on the right path with the self-driving cars, the autonomous vehicles, because then if they can get that down pat, then all they got to do is put it into a flying car, and then they're good to go, right?
I mean, like, in a theory, yeah, but then somebody still has to control flight patterns. Where you land, how often you can land, there still has to be air traffic control.
Right.
I
Well,
mean-
interestingly enough, the UK is building the world's first airport for flying cars. So a pop-up airport for electric flying taxis will be in operation later this year near the UK city of Coventry. The market for electric air taxis could be worth $500 billion in the US alone, but the technology still faces regulatory challenges. And I think that's what you're talking about, like
Yeah.
Trying to figure
But
out.
didn't Uber already do this?
I don't know, did that?
Yeah,
I haven't heard
yeah.
of.
I don't know
what do you
about flying cars, but like they have helicopters. I mean, they got all kinds of different modes of transportation, but you can only get it in select cities. Like it's probably big in like LA and New York or stuff, but like you can literally Uber a helicopter ride.
Oh yeah, but that's
I mean,
a
like, they've
little
done-
different.
But
Because this
is
is
it
like
really?
personal vehicles with a little
But it's not that
pull-up.
different.
What do you mean?
It's not that different.
Yeah, because we're talking about an airport.
What makes this?
for
What makes this car fly?
No, there's not a single car. This is an airport for flying cars.
All right, so it's just an airport. It's not even an actual flying car.
Well, if you bring up the image that we had there, it's for when you just like swoop in, you pull up into the little spot, and then I guess it spins around and allows for a new space for the next car to park. You see here's a little image of it. So this is how it I guess this is the concept
Right, but what's that
of
little
it.
plane on
That's
there?
the running in and out mode. So you got the arrows, I guess one arrow is guiding you in, the other arrow you're pulling out.
Right, so it's a flying car.
Yeah.
Right, so what is making that thing fly?
Oh, hell if I know. I guess
It's got to have
jet
some kind
propulsion.
of propellers. It ain't jet propulsion, I'm sure of that.
Rocket boosters.
It's probably like an Osprey, how they just have the wing. It's just straight propellered.
Well, or it could be, what's that? I guess that is the Osprey, right? Where they got the little tilting turbines and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
oh,
I mean,
what is that?
yeah.
Or isn't that on what is that Halo video game? Doesn't on the Halo video game they got like a aircraft that does
Their
that?
stuff's pretty sci-fi, but nonetheless, so if it is still, it's basically the same as a helicopter. It's not that different.
I don't know. I feel like it was. I don't know. I feel
It's
like
nice that it's electric. I mean, I guess that's kind of different. I mean, that's a neat little feature.
Electric air taxis. Yeah.
But I still think we're very far away from actually seeing something like this. I want to say we definitely are capable of seeing it in our lifetime, but I don't know that it's actually.
Well, it says the Air One facility will be open for just 1 month, and it's a collaboration between government agencies, the private sector businesses, and the aviation industry. It has been developed by Urban Airport with the involvement of the Urban Air Mobility Division and Hyundai Motor Group and Coventry City Council.
Yeah, so it's already gonna be bad. It's Hyundai's
For what about
involved.
first day? Hyundai's involved. But first day,
You
it blows
should.
up. It runs into the damn building.
Yeah,
That'd
probably.
be brutal. Hopefully, it
I mean,
doesn't
like
go that route.
it's a neat, like I said, it's a very cool.
It's a step in
concept.
the right direction, at least. I think that's how
I
I
still
feel
don't know
about.
that I would trust flying cars in, man. And like I'm already a little.
I know
sketchy
it
about
doesn't.
heights
One
to
thing
begin
it doesn't
with,
say.
but
Well, one thing
Yeah.
it doesn't say if it's gonna be manned or not. Like if
Like
it's gonna,
autonomous-
yeah,
autonomous?
yeah. It doesn't say if somebody's gonna be flying this bad boy or if they're just gonna send it off. But I mean, I've seen people with the drones. The drones, like you can set up the GPS
I mean,
coordinates,
drones,
send
you
it,
can-
and fly it, and it'll go and land itself and come back and land. You can set it up to leave and come back at different areas.
right, but that thing has no. It has no jurisdiction of airspace. Like
No,
that
it
says-
does. I mean, you
How?
can't fly over the White House with them, or there's
But
certain places.
There's a lot of places you can't fly over that people don't know, and they just do it anyway, and then they have to.
Well,
either
now to
investigate,
fly a
and then it
drone, you
becomes-
have to have a license. Like you have to go to a class.
probably a certain class of
Yeah,
a drone.
there's
I
there's
can see
drone
that.
classes. It's pretty
Because
pretty
the
weird.
airspace is a very serious thing.
It is. But moving on to our next thing here. So the reason why, we talk about the futuristic type of stuff, but this next story, I feel like it takes us 10 years on back. So everybody probably seen already Mr. Potato Head.
Oh, yeah.
So it's interesting. So here's the Potato Head picture here on the screen. So that's Mr. Potato Head. And it caused the uproar because they said that they were going to make him gender neutral or gender inclusive or whatever I'm not sure what
Gender inclusive.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the line is, how it goes, but it's basically gender neutral where he doesn't have a particular gender. They were going to remove the Mr. from Mr. Potato Head
And just call it Potato Head?
and just call it Potato Head. Yeah, they didn't want to make it a Mr. Potato Head or Mrs.
So
Potato
is that what
Head.
gender inclusive is saying? It's just taking away the title of Mr.
Yes. So that's
But he's still going to have a mustache?
I mean, you can't lie. That mustache is brutal, son.
I didn't even know, like, what asshat was sitting at the table at Hasbro, like, dude, let's just scrap the Mister on Mr. Potato Head. He's not even the popular character from Toy Story.
Right. Well,
Like, it's the Potato Head.
well, the thing is, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? It's like
It's the least of my worries.
Yeah, exactly. It's the least of your worries. Like, who really cares?
Right.
But some people would also argue, like, with this type of stuff, it's like the beginning of everything. It's like the beginning of something. Like it's never.
Oh, yeah, it's
like,
always a ulterior motive to it. Like,
Yeah.
this is just a beginning. It's kind of like in politics how they just push the button a little bit to see what they get away with.
Exactly right. It's
Hey,
it's
that's
just
all it
always
is.
something. And then also, more importantly, I can understand like focusing on things for the upcoming. But this stuff, like going back into the past to always cancel stuff in the past or stuff that's
Right,
already
changing what's
happened.
already
Yeah, it's
done.
like let it be. You can't change the past. It is what it is, and you can try to erase it. But that stuff's, I mean, that goes on. That stuff's around from forever. You know,
They
it's
just
never
can't
going
come
to
up with nothing
disappear,
better.
especially on the internet. I think it was a publicity stunt,
For
personally.
Hasbro?
Yeah, because
But Hasbro's not really a company that needs publicity.
it is, but it isn't.
It's like Disney.
But how many people buying potato heads these days?
But who gives a shit about potato heads? You got Toy Story.
Yeah, I
you
mean
got
that's
your
true. That is
Woody,
one thing,
you
but
got your
everybody
Buzz
buys the
Lightyear.
Woody, the Buzz, and then what's
Yeah,
that
so who
little
gives a
girl? That
Jessie?
Jessie, yeah.
Right, yeah, you get Jessie. But, like, who really cares? It's a potato head.
Yeah,
Who cares if you have to discontinue a potato head? It's not making you no money, no way.
I don't think because it's
make more
it's
Woodies
supposed
and
to be
make
like a
more-
classic. You
But
know,
is it?
I think so because
I mean, it is. Potato Head's an old-ass freaking
Yeah.
toy. Like, I think
Well,
probably
this
before
is-
Toy Story even came around.
well, interestingly enough, they are still doing a little finesse. So if you look at the old vintage potato head box, so this is how it would kind of look like. So it
Is that
says
Wario?
on there, who?
Wario?
Wario from
How you just got
that's
the
pretty
mustache
good.
all chunked
I heard
up?
some people say it was Steve Harvey.
I mean,
With the mustache, look just like Steve Harvey. But so it
You
says
ain't lying.
it says so you see the photo there. It says Mr. Potato Head. That's how the original box would look. I'm assuming that I think I had that as a kid, that particular potato head. But anyway, it says Mr. Potato Head on the box. Now, if you go back to the other image that we were just looking at, they're still going to keep it Mr. Potato Head. Like they're not going to change the name, but the box is going to say just Potato Head. So just like you see there. So
so
it's
he
just
still has a mustache. So it's basically up to the consumer to decide if it's a man or not.
essentially.
And what the fuck is the point of Mrs. Potato Head? So
I don't think they're doing no.
Head.
You're gonna get it's gonna be Potato Head, but with the Miss Potato, it's not gonna say Miss Potato Head.
So you're just two different potato heads.
yes.
So why not buy the Mister or the Mrs. Whichever one you want it to be. If you want it to be a Mister, you buy the one with the mustache.
But you might want to
it to be
buy
a
the
Mrs.,
Mrs.
you buy the
Potato Head.
non-mustache
You
potato
might buy
head.
the Mrs. Potato Head and be like, you know what? This is it's a trans potato head.
No, it's not mind blown. It's mind like, are you challenged?
I know that's how it goes. That's the whole thing. That's why I said this has to be some sort of publicity stunt. Because what's the end game? What did they really think was going to happen? Oh, this is a good move. Like, why out of all things, who came up? Like, who said, you know what? We need to do this for Potato Head. Like, it makes no sense.
You're not wrong.
Because where does it come from?
That's true, and it's not like It's not like somebody said, "Oh, we have a problem with this."
Right?
or
Nobody
this
was
is an
canceling
issue."
Potato Head.
Right? Heck, they're trying to cancel many other things.
That's what I'm saying. They're always trying to cancel something. It's something every
We
week.
talked about it last episode, actually,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
and I think we touch on it this episode.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, I can't stand a topic like this because it's just so asinine. It's just so like what? Like you said, it makes me think that maybe it is a publicity stunt
It had to be.
because it makes no logic to it.
Nope.
I understand maybe they're trying to be sensitive to gender fluid or trans.
I think
people,
it was just
but
people getting to just talk about it. Just
I don't
get them
even,
talking
and that's
about it.
another thing that bothers me. I don't know, man. Like I'm so torn because I guess I want to be sensitive to those that struggle with being transgendered in a way. And,
Sure.
I want to be sensitive to them, and they are genuinely in that. But then it also goes to say, I'm a strong advocate when it comes to children being sexualized to anything. And I don't like it. It's not for me. I know some people are okay with it, but I don't believe in allowing your 8-year-old to choose whether or not it's transgendered or gay or whatever. I don't believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a decision you make as you grow up and go through your pubescent stage and develop as a person.
Yeah.
I don't.
You
so
gotta
that's my
find. You gotta
thoughts.
figure
But-
yourself out and
so
learn
for people
yourself.
to do that with a toy that is made for children, it's to me says you're sexualizing that again, basically saying it's okay to be transgender at 4 years old. Because
Well,
that's
I
who's
think-
playing
well,
with these toys.
kinda if you
4 to
look at it
8-year-olds
that
or
way-
what's the age group like? Everybody says like 5 to 8 or something on there. Like I don't.
Well, if you look at it that way, yeah, but some people may look at it like, no, we're not, because I've heard this is the argument I've heard sometimes. I've heard some people say, okay, so if a child shouldn't be, like you said, a child doesn't really get to determine their
Right.
gender or whatever, but they're also saying, okay, let it be just that. They're not boy or girl. They don't get to determine. They don't know. So why
But
not
they
let
do
it
know.
be
They
that?
know they're a boy. They know they're a girl. They go to school. They're called a boy or they're called a girl.
But and that's what this
So they
push
know
is
what they're
about.
called.
They're trying to stop that.
But that's my point. That's the exact point I'm making. If they're trying to stop that to where people aren't calling each other boys and girls, it leaves a question mark in the air for children developing.
Right.
It causes it hinders a huge growth aspect into the human mind. That's what we do. We like certainty. And if I had to second guess what I am at the age of 6, I'm gonna be fucked up by the time I'm 19. I'm gonna be like, dude, what the fuck is a cow?
Maybe.
I'm just saying, it's just truth.
No, I mean,
You're
there's
gonna be
something
fucked
there.
up
There,
mentally.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Some people, it does mess with people. I think it definitely messes with people.
It
but
definitely does.
It goes into like when you talk about this type of stuff, the school systems and stuff are really responsible for this. I mean, the next thing that we're talking about is so the Virginia school system here in our it's not our hometown, but we have a county here in Virginia
county,
called Loudoun County.
Yeah.
It's a public school system said that they're going to be no longer celebrating Dr. Seuss's birthday. So like
And
when
it's
we were
so funny because I literally going to go get dinner earlier. I got an email from my children's school saying that this week coming up is they're celebrating Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
And they're saying like Monday will be Fox on a sock, so wear some goofy like mismatched socks. You know, basically a spirit week.
Well, this is where politics and schools get, this is what upsets me a little bit. But now, Loudoun County, if I'm not mistaken, is more up north, and they're a little bit more liberal up north here in Virginia. But it's kind of weird because this particular public school system is apparently no longer going to celebrate the day. Now, this is was an idea that was actually pushed by a liberal education advocacy group who was reportedly behind this pressure campaign against the celebrated children's author. The organization pegs itself as a group that seeks to uphold the mission of left-wing Southern Poverty Law Center, it's a group that seeks to uphold the mission of a left-wing Southern Poverty Law Center, according to their website. Now, what bothers me about this particular story is it's not so much of the canceling of Dr. Seuss. It's the fact that they're saying they're a left-wing organization and they're forcing it upon your kids. So if I have primarily conservative views and I send my kid to school to learn this left-wing ideology, which I'm not totally against, I want them to be able to grow up and decide, and maybe that would be a perfect setup if they come home and they hear conservative values, maybe go to school and learn that.
But it could also cause friction, though, too.
Exactly, and you don't know what they're telling your kid, and they're also, and if they talk bad about the parents, I've seen
when my daughter was in taking classes online, she sat in the same room with me every single time, and no matter what I was doing, I always had an ear on what was going on, and because
probably should these days.
Well, yeah, but I don't trust it because people push their views, like you said. And it's crazy how, like you said, something like you want it to be good that they have the best of both worlds in a sense. You have the left and the right in a way, but when does that we're talking grade school here? Why does this?
Or
even
what
really
if you
matter?
have left wing ideology? Your parents, come from a more liberal background, and that's what they're teaching. And then this kid goes to school, and it's reinforced there with more left wing stuff. So now that they're not even susceptible to hear the other side, they don't need know anything about it. Yeah, and it's echo chamber is what they call it. They call it echo chamber. So it's kind of weird because now you're going to have these kids.
You can't get changed that way. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. You're not getting.
It's a broken system.
It's really weird. I mean, it does change, but it's lining up the ducks to be all one type of group or one background, no kind of diversity at all. But apparently it says for over 2 decades, Dr. Seuss's birthday has been celebrated in schools as Read Across America Day, a day dedicated to the importance of reading and literacy. So kids, regardless, Dr. Seuss played an important role. But they go on to say the day falls on Dr. Seuss's birthday in honor of the impactful author whose books have helped countless children learn to read across the globe. But following pressure pressure from the activists, Loudoun County Public Schools are reportedly dropping the Dr. Seuss celebration. And they're saying that they're doing this is because as we become more culturally responsive and racially conscious, all building leaders should know that in recent years, there has been research revealing radical undertones in the books written and the illustrations drawn by Dr. Seuss. So red fish, two fish, or one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, like that's racist.
And the weird part about that whole thing is that it said it revealed undertones and so forth, but who is to say what is written?
Well, the man's not even alive to defend himself.
That's what I'm saying. You're taking someone else's words and then your own interpretation when that's like me sending you a text and I happen to put it in all caps and you think I'm yelling at you type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, my bad. I just didn't,
right.
Heck, for all I know, I'm not tech savvy enough to know that all caps means, yelling or whatever. Like, you're taking, like you said, the man's not here to defend himself. You're taking things primarily probably out of context. And it's bizarre. It is so bizarre.
But it's forced upon your kids. Now the good news is,
and why are you letting activists play a role in
point.
In the school systems? Like it's just so.
And and this goes back to where do you draw the line?
They don't draw the line.
But that's where I said that's why people are like,
racist.
Why do you care? But they're like, why do you care about Potato Head being transgender? And I'm like, because if you don't stop at this Potato Head, it leads to shit like this. And then if you don't stop it here, then it leads to something else. And then next thing you know,
my daughter's gonna be having to piss in the same bathroom as a boy.
They're pushing that here too.
Yeah,
they're pushing that here.
The sad part is my child, the way the school systems are, my children probably will not attend public schools before that actually even occurs at the rate that the schools are going. They're going. Like you said, that's the way the schools are going to go to the bathroom situation, right? But the way that the schools are going, it's so downhill very fast that before they even get to the opportunity to get that, I might have to pull my kids out of freaking public school.
Yeah.
I've already discussed private school options and so forth and changed, sending her to, Catholic school and stuff.
Right.
I mean, it's just...
Well, what it's going to take is for people to stand up for themselves and stand up for what they believe in. And, I mean... Even then, I don't know that's enough.
But it is. It's just the conservatives are going to have to one day just, a lot of conservatives are just going to have to stop going to work one day and just get mad and stop being mad at home and mad in conversation talking to one another. They're going to have to get up and actually go out there and do stuff about it and voice their opinion more and stop being the silent majority.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe. We don't know.
I don't know how
either or. It shouldn't play a role in school, really.
That's how I feel about it. It shouldn't go into
Can we just go back to arguing between chicken sandwiches and Friday pizza lunches?
Yeah, is today Wednesday or is it Pizza Hut pizza day?
Yeah, can we just go back to that? Can I get the chocolate? What you mean you ain't got no chocolate milk?
Yeah.
you removing a strawberry milk? God dang.
Well, speaking of people standing up for themselves, this next guy is a restaurant owner. This has been circulating around on social media for a little bit. So this restaurant owner who's also here in Virginia, I want to say Spotsylvania County.
Yeah.
Out in the fucking sticks. But anyway, he refuses to comply with COVID guidelines. So basically, he's just said, I've had enough with it. This is how it's going to be. They took this guy's his license to operate. But he's still operating. He's still doing his thing. So let's take a look at this
clip. If I'm an hour and a half drive, I might go hit the restaurant.
Yeah, no, it looks like,
I'd go hit
we're going to take a look at it real quick.
I support him.
Let's see what they got to say.
Wrong with what the governor and the health department are doing.
That is the owner of a restaurant, Gourmelts, in Spotsylvania County, who's not following COVID-19 guidelines. That was Matt Strickland, says he doesn't need to be told what to do. Fox 5 Sierra Fox live tonight in Fredericksburg inside of that restaurant, explaining what is happening now to the restaurant's future and potential license. Sierra.
Looks like a packed house.
This restaurant, Gourmelts, here in Fredericksburg, Virginia, has received 50 complaints for breaking COVID-19 rules. And as a result, the restaurant's license has been suspended. But clearly, they're still operating per usual. Take a look. Servers don't have to wear masks. There's very little social distancing happening in here. And people are still sitting at the bar. But the owner says he doesn't.
You can pause it there for a second. So one thing she said, the servers don't have to wear masks. That's kind of where I'm at with this whole pandemic thing. I'm not opposed to anybody wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. Like, I'm like, hey, you want to do your thing? Do your thing. You want to wear a mask? Go for it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not even going to shame you for it. That's what your personal choice is.
I might shame you if I catch you wearing like 3 of them things.
Hey, I don't blame you.
Did we see Biden wearing like 2 masks the other day?
Probably.
Yeah,
they're saying there's studies out now that show that wearing multiple
released studies showing.
Well, they're not false.
They're
not false. There's Dr. Fauci says that, you know, that, so that's kind of the guy, the go-to guy, you know. So, but apparently, that's a good point though. You got you got 6 masks on, bro. Lighten up, calm down. But no, the thing is, that's how the problem is if I don't shame anybody who wants to wear a mask, but flip it the reverse, if you don't wear a mask, you're getting shamed for not wearing it. Like they want to point you out, call you out, and that's that
goes back to any topic we've talked about today.
Yeah, you're not lying about that. All right, let's check out a little bit more about what this guy's got going on with his restaurant.
Plan to change his mind. Take a listen. Do you believe the coronavirus is real?
Oh yeah, it's real, just like any other virus is real. The flu's real, pneumonia is real. You know what I mean? It's real. It's just as survivable as those other viruses. You know? And there's no reason that the whole country needs to be closed down because of it. It's not going anywhere. We need to learn to live with it. And as you can see, Americans they're tired of living in fear.
So I think what he's trying to do is, again, this goes back to letting people decide. He's like, yo, and people want to, you know, this is going to be around. Don't look like there's an end anytime soon.
There isn't going to be an end.
Well, you know what the funny part is?
It's always
remember, what was it called? Remember, flatten the curve? We just need to flatten the curve, and then we're back home free. Yeah. And, you know,
what was that, a year ago?
Yeah, we need to flatten the curve. That's all. We just need to flatten the curve. That ain't ever happened.
It's all about control.
It's all about control. I'd say a huge portion of it. You know, it's like, what can they get away with? How much can they push the envelope on this stuff? And it sounds like some kind of conspiracy theory, but if it wasn't, then they wouldn't have all these dumbass rules.
You know what kind of cracks me up is I like turning on the news, and the first thing I hear is so-and-so survives COVID. Yeah, so did 99.7 other Americans.
Like what? What do you mean?
Like, it's like they praise people surviving COVID.
Oh,
like it's such a great tasking. 99.7%. If 100,000 people have COVID, that 100,000. That means 99,700. That means 300 people died. So it's not that big of a deal.
Well, I think
like 300 people died. Yeah, that's sad. It sucks for people to lose family.
Sure.
But I think I'm calloused. I guess I could say I move on.
Well, you kind of got to
have your day of mourning. You maybe the next day, if it's a really close relative or someone that means significance to you, sure, maybe 2 days after that. But after that, life keeps going. You still got bills. You still got to do you. You still got to keep moving for the rest of the world.
Yeah, I mean, that's a kind of a harsh take on it. But
it's reality.
It is reality. Eventually, it does keep going. It doesn't stop.
It doesn't matter what you do. Same with flu, man. Flu is dog shit. It sucks. People die from it. People die from it. Probably the same numbers, about 300 people out of every 100,000, whatever. But we live with it. We learn.
Yeah.
Children being born are more likely to already have the gene to not get it.
Yeah.
Just because our bodies are
Well, you know what's interesting is my daughter, she sometimes will say, Dad, I want my mask. Just so she can just wear it just around the house and stuff. Because she sees it and thinks it's like a normal part of life. And I was like, dude, that's kind of weird to me because... I mean, we never grew up with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird that my daughter wants to play with a mask and, like, I'm like, no, you don't need to play. Yeah, you don't need, she wants to just play with it, and she doesn't know any different. You know, she just sees it as like some kind of accessory piece, toy type thing. She doesn't know.
Right.
You know, she doesn't even know that it's to prevent COVID. She doesn't grasp it. She's 2 years old. You know, she's almost 3. So she doesn't get to see the bigger picture here, but it's just kind of, I think where it boils down to is people should be able to decide what they want to do at this point in stage.
At this point in stage,
if you don't want to participate in guys' restaurants like this,
restaurant.
Exactly.
These people that are in here with no mask on are going out to other places with no mask on.
Well, not only that, these people chose to do this.
And they chose to be there too.
So if you're going to put yourself in harm's way, then that's up to you. If you're like, hey, I'm not scared if I get this virus, then okay.
Yeah, but I guess they see it as selfish because you're not helping to prevent the spread. But I'll tell you this, if my neighbor Joe needed $100 to pay his rent and I'm the only person throwing in, ain't nobody else going to benefit off that.
What do you mean exactly?
Same like here, if I guess people see it as that everybody has to contribute to end this.
Oh, that's the term. This is propaganda. They use propaganda terms.
That's my point I'm making. It's.
They say we're in this together.
Yeah, like. No, we're not, because I don't wear a mask nowhere.
Are y'all paying my rent this month? Y'all paying groceries in my fridge? I guess Biden gonna give us some Daddy Warbucks.
Freaking.
Was it Daddy Warbucks?
I don't know what you want. I'm gonna leave my goal. I'm gonna come up with a name for him.
But there's plenty of them. I think it's Sleepy Joe.
That's his nice.
Or what? There was. Never mind. That was another name for him. I forget what it was called.
Like Sniffleupagus or something.
Sniffleupagus. Let's see. Let's finish up this clip.
The owner there, Matt Strickland, who served in Iraq and Afghanistan for 8 years, says he is only supposed to allow 19 people to be seated inside his restaurant, but instead he's allowing a full house. Strickland doesn't understand why guests can sit at tables but not at the bar. The owner claims the health department's lack of an explanation doesn't make sense to him.
I keep saying we're in the middle of the pandemic. Well, when are we at the end of the pandemic? You know what I mean?
Straight up.
It's been a year almost, and they didn't ask me to do certain things for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. They're asking me to do something for an indefinite amount of time just because they said so.
Yeah.
And to me, that violates my constitutional rights.
Yeah, because see, this goes back to what he's saying. He's basically saying, look, you're not giving me a timeline here. You're just saying, hey, when I tell you can, when I say you can, then you can. That's literally what they do to people in jail. Hey, go to your cell. You can come out of your cell when I tell you can come out of your cell. You know what I'm saying? That's essentially what this is like, Like, lockdown, take your ass to the cell. Trays, yeah, trays. Like, that's really what it is, though. It's
not me. I'm in the corner and get my log ready.
But it's like, like you said, it's trays.
Yeah, trays. You're like, yo, can I have your tray?
But obviously people are on board with this guy because, his restaurant is packed. And then this goes back to earlier about stuff not making sense. So, in reality, this isn't too far crazy because when you think about it, when you go to a restaurant, everybody walks in through the door with their mask on.
Not me.
You go,
but yeah, I know
predominantly
the average person, yes.
Yeah, and I do it as well. I'm gonna go in there. I'll try to respect people's space and try to do the right thing, or what I would call it the right. That's what I'm saying. The right thing. But I'll wear. It's more for the sake of the argument. I don't. Yeah, I just don't have time for it.
If they say, hey, you need to have a mask on, I'm just like, whatever. And I half-ass it.
But the thing is, you go in there and you go to your table, pop that thing right on off, you know what I'm saying? And then you still
breathing, coughing, and sneezing.
Right, all you're doing is you're just going from the entrance.
Oh, but they sanitize. It's airborne.
But still, you're going from the start of your the entrance to your table with a mask, and then it pops off. And then, like he says here, they tell you at restaurants, you can't y'all can't sit at the bar. You can sit at a table, but you can't be at a bar. And I
guess it's a spacing issue, but if you're still going to 6 feet,
you can still do 6 feet.
2 chairs in between.
Yeah, exactly. Or set up, even casinos are allowed to operate right now. And they got glasses in between the players.
It a casino, but I don't even know what that Rosie's is called, really. But it's like a casino, I guess.
It's not officially a casino.
Right, it's like a workaround. It's a loophole casino, but... Literally, they have lines out the door. People nut to butt standing in line underneath the little awning, just waiting every single night.
Pick
when I leave here, I'm going to see them there tonight.
So this whole thing has been about picking and choosing which industries are going to suffer and which ones don't. You see, like Amazon booming. They're not closing down.
Oh no, because fucking Jeff Bezos' #1 supporter.
Yeah, well,
he's gonna go ahead and buy the Washington football team.
He's in talks with it. No, it's not confirmed, but
it's not confirmed.
But it would be kind of interesting. But we're gonna finish up because there's a couple. They interview a couple of guests or not, patrons and people from the area. I guess we're gonna check that out real quick.
Non-patrons.
Yeah.
The people in here are praising
haters.
The owner for staying open, whereas others think it's wrong.
We actually saw last night through social media that the restaurant was getting suspended because they weren't following certain protocols, that they faced a huge fine possibly, and we wanted to make sure we came out and supported local for an owner who is doing what he feels is right by his employees.
I definitely don't agree with that. I think it's unsafe for the people that work there, the people in the community. And I think that's why I've seen so many cars over there. I was wondering why business seemed like it had picked up a lot.
Now pause it. That's the end of it.
I was wondering why business seemed to pick up a lot.
I wonder why business.
They must be up to no good over there.
No, because people. That means that there are the overwhelming majority who all agree on a similar consensus. So we don't need this video anymore. But there's an overwhelming consensus that hey. These people want to do it. And like she said, some of these workers, they don't have to wear masks. Again, they don't have to wear masks. I don't think this owner's saying, hey, if you come to work...
He's not telling you to do it or not do it. He's like, hey, you come to work, you're scheduled, you can wear the mask or not.
Right.
It's up
you're
to
on
you.
the schedule. Take care of your customers. Make them happy. I'm good to go.
I'm glad people are showing up to
that's
support.
That's what I'm saying. It's a local business. That
fine. I mean, that's awesome. He's probably going to pull in so much money because of this. And for people to say on here, the way she said... oh, man, I forget her little quote there that she said. Regardless, she's all concerned she doesn't think it right. Even the mask she was wearing was barely a mask. You could see holes in it from here.
I think people like that, honestly, she's one of those people that was like, oh, shit, a camera's in my face and a mic. No, I don't think it's right at all. No, I can't. No, that's not good, but... Like, turn it off.
It looks like those masks they just give you because you didn't have one when you walked in, and they order in bulk, knowing
but not. It's like she's on camera, so she's just going with the flow. But she's probably like the funny part is they were probably in the parking lot. She was coming in.
Yeah,
to
she
pick
probably
up
walked
order.
Let me put away my food.
Yeah, and she just walked out with it. She got a to-go box.
Yeah,
and she's running out there. Her to-go box. She's like,
I got my Gourmet's double.
Yeah, they was trying not to get caught.
Well, praise to the dude. I mean, if he hits a hefty fine, that sucks, but. Good job to the community to look out for them.
You got to support your local community, especially the small businesses, because they're the ones that are getting hit the hardest. So, if you have the opportunity to shop local, I would definitely do that.
Absolutely, especially if it's somebody
and I want to
try to do that.
Right. I want to try to see if we can start doing that. Maybe highlight a local business on the show once a week or something like that. Just throwing an idea out there, but somebody that we can show that I won't say struggling, but just somebody that could use the extra support. It's been maybe a difficult road or not as busy, or it's just, with COVID and everything, there's a lot of business out there that failed to make it. And
it's difficult to make it when you
especially the restaurant business.
When you're already like low sales and you're getting by to no sales.
Yeah,
I mean it's drastic. I mean, you can't pay your rent space. How you pay your rent and your rent space?
Yeah, and not including your product, your staff, all of that stuff.
Well, and your staff is your biggest take too, because they're your employees. They gotta pay their rent.
Yeah. You gotta buy the Yardbirds.
You gotta pay the Yardbirds. I think the chicken war is heating up. Period. I think Taco Bell's got like a chicken sandwich now.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, they're
sandwich.
Yeah.
It's not like two quesadillas smashed together.
It's like a flour quesadilla shell with a whole chicken sandwich in the middle. So they're throwing their hat into the ring next.
So they're gonna be on our great snack segment at some point.
I mean, I'll eat a chicken sandwich.
I'd try it out.
I ate grilled squid 2 weeks ago. I think I can handle it.
Don't even remind me. It's like I can still taste it, man. That shit was disgusting.
It's back there. Maybe it was 3 weeks ago, but regardless, so Taco Bell's got a chicken thing out, but I mean, chicken's popping all over the world.
That's true. Well, all right. Well, it's about this chicken really popped off. Let me tell you about this badass chicken right here.
This badass chicken.
So everybody heard of cockfighting before, and I'm not talking about crossing swords. I'm talking about real cockfighting here. Two chickens, mano y mano.
The roosters.
I guess that's a good point. They are roosters. Typically, I don't think they'd fight the hens.
No, who fights hens?
Yeah, because
it wouldn't be a cockfight.
I think you're right.
It'd be a hen fight.
Guess that's true. It's a good point.
And chickens just aren't as feisty as roosters.
Well, a rooster's a chicken.
I mean, yeah, but look at them things. That thing ain't got no meat on it.
Yeah, they're certified.
What you eating off that?
They got no meat on them bones.
Hell no.
Well,
it looks like a McDonald's chicken nugget. It's like all breading with a sliver of meat inside. Just an air pocket. Just.
All right, so you see the little device there on the chicken's back foot?
A device?
Yeah, you see on his feet there. It looks like
tracker,
yeah,
like
no, it looks like an ankle monitor. He's on house arrest.
Yeah, they put the anklets in. It's got a number. And
yeah, he done caught a couple bodies, so they don't put him on house arrest. But no, really, those are little razor blade devices. On the back of them, they got little razor blades because when they start flaring up, you can cut their opponents and tear them all up. So apparently,
talons can't do that alone.
No, I think they're just claw. Maybe it can, but this is going to add a certain level of damage. It's going to
just makes the fight go a little longer and stuff before the roosters get bored and just quit.
Exactly.
It's more deadly.
But anyway, what we're getting at is there was a cockfight, and apparently during the cockfight, one of the roosters killed its alleged owner during the match.
So not did he win his match? And
so did he get like double kill?
Did he get a double kill? Was he on a killing frenzy? A bloodthirsty? What was his kill streak rule?
I'm not sure. Well, it's the story on here says the bird's owner was impaled in the groin. That's already a doozy. Like, damn, what a brutal way to go.
No one wants to
was impaled in the groin by the knife as the animal tried to escape.
Why do you say groin?
That's what it is.
Oh, it's a groin.
Groin?
Yeah, it's a groin. Not a groin. Like,
is that a tomato or tomato type of thing?
No, it is not. You were literally the first person in human history to say growing.
Growing.
Like, you are reading it as you see it, but that's not how it's read. It's groin.
Groin. All right, I'll have to work on that. Who says growing and who says growing? Comment down below. They're going to be like spelling it the same. You're like, yeah, I told you it was growing. Grow, do Growin for growing, even though that's not how it's spelled. It's Groin. But I'm just saying that'll be able to differentiate the two. So if you do growing, Growin. Groin, Goroi.
Last week he can't read. This week, he really can't read.
This is a literate bastard. But anyway, it says the bird's owner was impaled in the groin by the knife as the animal tried to escape. The man died on his way to the hospital from the loss of blood. And so it doesn't give us whether or not he actually won or lost the match. But police said when the animal was being ready to take part in the fight, when it tried to escape, its owner attempted to catch it, but it was struck by the 7-centimeter long 3-inch knife on the bird's leg during the struggle.
I want to point something out.
Mm-hmm.
You said that little anklet thing had a razor blade on. 3 inches is it's like this long.
Well, it goes up and down, not out. It goes up and down.
But where? No, those things are. I don't think that's.
They're like little clip-ons. They don't actually. It depends.
3 inches is like this. That's about as long as that chicken leg.
Yeah, I understand. They have different models. This is just
different
this particular
models.
Yeah, this is just this particular bird.
Well, all right.
But anyway, it says, but this is the crazy part on this one, though. So check this out. So all of those people involved in the event face charges of manslaughter, illegal betting, and hosting a cockfight. So they may get manslaughter charges because essentially by engaging in this.
How do y'all know these people were at that fight?
I mean, they probably. Because they didn't want to leave the man.
He's dead. He's bleeding out. I'm out that joint. I'm at an illegal cockfight. I'm at an illegal cockfight.
You gonna leave him?
Yeah.
But what if they stay? They're like, no, I'm collecting I had 80-1 on that man's nuts getting cut. I want my coins. I want my money.
You come back tomorrow.
Come back tomorrow. Like,
ain't nobody getting paid tonight.
Ain't nobody getting paid.
Hell.
No, you can't leave the man though.
Yes, I can.
Your boy.
No, hell no.
Why not?
Because first of all, my boy ain't dumb enough to get cut by his own rooster. If my rooster jumps at me, I'm punching it. It's got a knife on its legs. And you think I'm going to let it just jump
How about not fight the cops?
Boy. What do you mean not fight the cops?
If you don't fight them, you don't be in that predicament.
Why can't I just be a spectator? Why'd I have to be fighting my cops?
Because it's illegal activity.
It don't matter. I'm
just saying.
You ain't catching me out there anyway.
Well, it was made illegal in India in 1960, just if you didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that. Thanks for the small fact of trivia.
But it says fights are still relatively common in rural areas such as Telangana, with many falling around the Hindu festival of Sankranti. It's not the first time the owner has been killed by their cockerel. Last year, the man in Andhra Pradesh died after he was hit in the neck by a blade attached to his bird.
So this is a common thing.
It happens more than you would think. According to CNN, the owner was taking his animal to a cockfight when the incident occurred. So that was the second guy. So it's like you said.
I need to know, why don't they just, the ring that they have set up, right? Why don't they have little doggy doors? You just put your cage up against a doggy door. You just poke it with a stick to get it out the cage and walk into the arena through the doggy door. Never have to touch your cock.
No pun intended.
No, it was there.
Oh, all right.
But you ain't got to touch your cock. You just poke
I don't
it with
want
a stick.
to. All right. So, moving on to talking about chicken.
You sweep them back in the cage.
So, KFC is about to unleash the meat of the future to go to 3D bioprint meals using animal flesh cells. How do you feel about that?
Not in my future.
You sure?
Absolutely.
Well, it's coined.
It's gonna be like, what's that? I think it was called Phil of the Future. It was a TV show on Disney Channel once upon a time.
That sounds familiar.
The dude, they had like a meal in a can, and it's like Cheese Whiz can, and they just spray it on the plate, and a whole ass like meal would show up.
Oh, they already have that. Have you heard of squeezable bacon?
No, it's a meal. It's not just bacon. It would show up like green beans, mashed potatoes, and meatloaf. Like, it'd be a full course meal.
Oh, that's like I think that was what Willy Wonka was working on.
Well, I mean,
the everlasting gobstopper.
I mean, it wasn't called that. No.
Oh.
But it was something else.
What is it, Tim?
The what? The gum. It was a strip of gum.
Oh, it was gum?
It was gum, yeah. Because Violet Beauregard ate it, and she was like, I could feel the gravy running down the back of my throat. And he said, yeah, you should spit it out.
He was a straight savage in that movie. Yo.
I mean, it's Johnny Depp. He's an amazing actor.
Was that the Johnny Depp one? Oh, I don't like the original better.
I don't.
I love the original better.
He
said, "Good day, sir." I said, "Good day, sir."
The original Fez.
Yeah, I love that. But anyway, KFC has partnered with a Russian bioprinting company to bring 3D printed chicken nuggets to the table.
Hell yeah. KFC, work with the Russians.
Yeah.
The Kremlin supports you.
Yeah. Coined as the meat of the future, the lab-created chicken meat is KFC's response to the growing interest of healthy lifestyles. The rise in demand for meat alternatives and the increasing need to develop more environmentally friendly methods of food production. It's also KFC's next step in creating a restaurant of the future.
I call it shenanigans.
What do you mean?
Where in the fuck is all these people demanding alternatives to meat?
There's a lot. It's a growing thing.
Who?
It's a lot of vegans and stuff like that.
So just don't eat meat. You're a vegan. You get no meat. You chose this. You do not get an alternative.
And that's not a bad point.
Eat your plant.
That's not a bad point. Eat your plant.
Yeah, go outside and get your damn grass. Because it seems like a lot
of them are like mad that they're vegans and want to punish everybody else. They're like, they want
to shame everybody else.
Well, it's not even shame. It's that, but it's also more like,
me some baby daddy.
I really wish I could have a burger. It's like they're trying to like kind of giving into it a little bit.
They want the idea of the grease. They want the satisfaction of it. That's fine. But you chose to be vegan. You don't get that.
Yeah.
You made that choice when you said, nah, you go eat your damn red beans and rice. Oh, wait, you're vegan. You can't have rice. Go eat your red beans and beans. Yeah, vegans literally can't eat nothing but beans and freaking grass.
Yeah.
And grass is probably pushing it because people walk on it. They're like, oh, gosh, we can't have it.
But it seems like there could be a couple of positives, at least at how they're trying to spin it. It says the technology of growing meat from cells has minimal negative impact on the environment, allowing energy consumption to be cut by more than half, greenhouse gas emissions to be reduced 25-fold, and 100 times less land to be used than traditional farm-based meat production. The statement said, sourcing a study by the American Environmental Science and Technology Journal.
I mean, I'm all for cutting down on, energy and gas emissions, but in reality, the way I see it is that it doesn't pertain to me.
Right.
I'm eating my cow regardless.
Well,
I'm getting my baby back.
It goes, but you sent me something else a few minutes ago because you said Burger King was trying to.
Oh, yeah, Burger King's on the flex.
Yeah, so we got this moldy.
It's a disgusting photo, but it's like it's supposed to be a good disgusting photo. So I'll kind of describe it a little bit. So the idea here is obviously it's molded up like quite significantly. Like, I mean, you can see like the lettuce on there is all like looks like underwater kelp or something. Like, it's fucked.
Moss and seaweed.
Yeah, it's fucked. No, do not eat this burger. But the idea behind it is that they're showing that they have no added preservatives. and there is actually a forum. I guess you call it a forum where this person every year posts a picture of a McDonald's burger,
remember that.
and it's almost exactly the same. Not a hint of mold. Like it looks like it just came from the McDonald's. That's how dog shit you are, McDonald's. But it's so stacked with preservatives and stuff, which is not good for you. Preservatives
the fact that a burger will never mold.
That's what I'm saying. Like you've seen videos where, I mean, like you can see it's a bunch of crazy videos out there, but. The point of this is saying that we have no, like, I don't want to say no added preservatives, but they have limited added preservatives and so forth to where their product still molds. It's still the closest to real you're going to get from a fast food restaurant as opposed to McDonald's. What about
Wendy's with the fresh, never frozen?
Doesn't mean it doesn't have added preservatives just because it's not frozen. But I don't know that it has it. I'm just saying
maybe they'll have to stack up burger for burger. See who's doing it.
Yeah, I mean, Wendy's is a pretty good burger, but Burger King has a great burger. I love Burger King.
I like Burger Kings as well.
I love Burger King. Like, and I go to each fast food restaurant for certain things. Like, I like my nuggets from Wendy's. I like my burgers from Burger King. I really don't like McDonald's. I'd eat it because my child wants a Happy Meal, and I'm like, all right, I guess. And I actually get like a fried chicken, like the chicken club sandwiches or whatever,
Well, is the quarter pounder more real than the double cheeses?
No, it's just cooked fresh because they lose too much money by cooking a lot of it, and they don't sell enough of it.
Because it's a quarter pound of meat,
right? So they cook it as it's
quarter pound of meat,
and they do that as a sales ploy. So it's like it's always hot. You know, it doesn't sit in this. They want you to buy the more expensive burger versus the McDouble that costs $1.
That's true.
That's the idea. It's a sales ploy.
Yeah, well,
in my eyes, I can.
You're not. I don't
know. I'm probably not
wrong.
I'm not wrong by much.
Probably not, but you know, it is what it is. So we're getting ready to wrap up the show here. But have you seen? I didn't really pull this up. This is just kind of a side tangent. Have you happened to see the crazies out in Texas saying the snow doesn't melt?
No.
Oh, I wish I had. Oh, I should have put it on the show then.
Well, just send it over.
No, I don't want to bring it all. Because, I might have a clip. But
what do you mean the snow doesn't melt?
So basically, in Texas,
what are they trying to say? This is a conspiracy theory. They meant to shut them out. Well, Texas trying to secede from America. We'll show you what it's like when America's not there for you. No power, no government official. Ted Cruz, you're on vacation.
Well, apparently what had happened was, isn't that how it's what people are supposed to say? What had happened was, so a lot of the people in Texas were saying that they blame Bill Gates for the snow in Texas and everything that happened because
he is a man that drank poop water.
Allegedly the snow isn't melting.
Well, it's cold.
So I'm gonna airdrop this video to you. I'm gonna see if we can get this pulled up real quickly. Actually, will he be able to add the story? Maybe we can pull it up real quickly. But while we do this, I'm gonna tell you about the story. So basically, it snowed in Texas. You know, they had the bad storm and all of that good stuff, right?
Right.
So they're taking these packs. They're taking the snow, packing it all down, and everything like that, and taking a lighter to it, and you would expect that it would melt or drip or something like that.
Right.
But it doesn't. So they're saying that this snow is manufactured and it's fake and it's not real, and that it was sent by Bill Gates and the globalists, and it's like another QAnon conspiracy theory. So it's kind of weird. Would go to media source. It should be media source, right?
It is.
All right. So anyway, they're trying to melt this thing and it will not melt.
Right.
So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
But I mean, like,
they found out reasons why it doesn't melt. Like apparently it's some kind of process. Like it's some kind of. It's like where the snowball caves in on itself and absorbs within itself, so it doesn't melt. But they've tried this in other places where it snowed. So.
And it's probably not in there. Click on downloads because you didn't drag it to the desktop. Click on downloads. There it is. No.
Yeah, was that it? Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, bring that bad boy up. Yeah, let's see this. Will it pop up?
It should. Transition.
There we go.
Go get snow. Go find some snow.
Mute the mic.
Hey, I Not a snowball.
Mute it.
Here we go. Highest setting hot. Not melting.
What the?
No drip.
No drip.
All right, so she.
So redo it.
Yeah, we'll
the
play
video.
it one more time because you couldn't quite hear anything of it. So we'll show it one more time.
Maybe we won't.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
No.
You.
Okay. Not a snowball. Here we go. Highest setting hot. Not melting.
What the?
No drip.
No drip.
So apparently this was all over TikTok. Not just this video. There's another one where a lady got her little kid in the video and saying, "Yeah, Bill, good try, Bill Gates." You know, that's what she said. Good try, Bill Gates.
So first and foremost, I can see the snow thinning in her hand.
I didn't really see it thinning, but
I saw it thin. But regardless of that, you're outside where it's cold as shit. You packed it down. It takes that's like when it snows outside and the sun is still shining, but you don't see snow melting outside.
yeah, not until it
takes
gets
a-
above a certain temperature.
Right. And it takes, but even then, when it's packed, even above a certain temperature, it takes.
But
Slowly
apparently
melts,
there's a
like, it
science
comes down,
behind
but-
it with the snow packed down like that. Because one dude actually did it where the snow
Well,
was
yeah, it's
just
like
laying
same like
down, and he lit it and it would melt away.
Right.
Because it was all spread out and everything. But when you pack it down like that and then you try to light it, it caves in on itself, kind of like styrofoam. When you light
Yeah.
styrofoam on fire, you see how it eats into itself.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same concept with snow.
I mean, and that's fairly logical. Like I
Yeah.
said, with it packed down and stuff, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean,
It's just weird. If you get a chance, go to TikTok, look up these crazies. I mean, there's some other ones up there, but apparently they're blaming it. It's like some QAnon type conspiracy type stuff. It's just weirdos.
yeah.
But anyway, that's pretty much it for tonight's show. I enjoyed some of the topics, and what's next week? I think we're actually gonna have bring back the It's a Great Snack segment. I think
Yes.
we're gonna fry up some goodies and do like a little.
It's either that, either we're doing we're gonna have like some fried creation of
Alright.
mozzarella sticks,
Alright.
or we're gonna have the hot wing challenge, one or the other.
Ooh, I don't know, hot wing challenge.
Yeah, it's
though?
gonna be one or the other. We'll have to see what's what, just depending
You
on.
want to rock paper scissors for it? Well, which one are you trying to do?
We'll see what the viewers choose.
All right, if anybody wants to comment
Comment
down
whether
below
you want
whether
wings challenge or mozzarella creation.
Yeah, but the wings challenge, just to be specific, it's going to be the blazing hot wings from Buffalo Wild Wings, the hottest ones on the menu, and we're going to go wing for wing to see who can eat.
He eats first wing.
I'll eat first wing. I don't care.
Oh,
I'll hold it
he's
down.
done.
Yeah, I'll eat first wing. So go ahead, comment down below if you want us to do blazing buffalo wings, wing for wing challenge. We'll see who can last the longest, or if you think we should make mozzarella stick creations. And when we say mozzarella stick, it's not going to be your usual mozzarella stick. It's going to be where you can actually bread these
It's
things
gonna be a
up.
modified mozzarella, like you said. The breading is gonna be different, so we'll have different. I think we're gonna try different creations with like Doritos or Flamin' Hot Cheetos, Oreos, just
Whatever you can come up with.
just anything you can crush up, really.
Okay, all right. Well, anything. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. I'm down
I'm
for
gonna get
either
you. I'm gonna
one.
hit you with a specialty. I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's a Flamin' Hot Cheeto, but really, it's just be ground up, packy one chip.
Yeah, and so I think it's gonna be pretty cool. So, and we should have a sponsor for our next event. So we'll give you more details on that when it comes for the snack.
Oh yeah, I believe they are sponsoring. the next
So
event.
when we get to that, we'll talk about it a little bit more. But that's gonna
Yep.
be it for tonight's show. I thank everybody for tuning in. Jay, thanks for being the co-host this evening. You guys have a great night. We'll see you next week.